please. Kiss me.
Greetings and salutations. This is Cage's Kiss, the ultimate Cage cast where we discuss each of the National Treasure's cinematic masterpieces and his life. We also try to glean whatever kernels of wisdom we can from his character that week. I am Don.
And I'm Adrian, and of regular size.
I'm a small-sized cheese. I guess you could call me Baby Bell or Linda, whatever.
I think you're one of those Cheeto crumbs.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But I'm glad to say that we were able to resurrect Donnie from the dead.
Well, funny you should mention resurrection, because this movie we did this week has a lot to do with that. Today we're talking about a character named Boone, who's on his way through majestic Canada to find the land of the Nightbreed.
No,
Yeah.
no, there was no
This isn't
Meridian.
Midian?
No.
What?
No, Midian.
Are
No,
you sure?
and he
Because
drops
this is kinda
acid,
like
then he
it.
winds up in that place, you know. And
Yeah,
and then
because it's the
David
same
Cronenberg's
story.
in it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same
And the-
story. I mean, he does
No.
help them. They're waiting for their savior to arrive,
And they got that
do
monstrous
praise him.
berserkers in the basement.
Yeah, and there's a whole thing of redneck sheriffs and people toting shotguns, and they start blowing them apart, and bodies ripped apart.
Yeah, it's the exact same movie.
No
Yeah.
Danny Elfman music. No.
Well, no, this is a rescored, shorter special edition known as the Ant Bully, and the graphics are slightly different, but I think it's a bad transfer. That's all.
Yeah, it was
Or
someone
like a
got
really-
a script messed up.
Really bad transfer, you know. Yeah, and some scenes are like scrambled and.
Yeah, I mean, it's very likely they could have had the script to Nightbreed and then ran into the person with the B-movie script, and then they just got them jumbled together, and they're like, why are there bees in this? Let's make them ants.
Oh.
It's actually kind of funny when I was writing notes on this. I'm like, hey, isn't this the same plot from Avatar?
Yeah,
And,
Only maybe not as bad this time.
and Ferngully.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because like I saw the cast before I saw the movie, and I was like, fucking Paul Giamatti's one of my favorite actors, and you got Meryl Streep, you've got
Ricardo
Regina.
Montalban in his last
Yeah.
film role,
Fuck,
embarrassingly
right?
enough.
Yeah, so like I was thinking, how the hell could this go wrong? Oh.
They were lacking a superior intellect.
So Tom Hanks produced this movie. Tom Hanks, who also had a lot to do with getting that fucking Polar Express movie made,
Yeah.
and fuck that movie.
And his soulless eyes.
Yeah. Right. When that movie was out on DVD, I was at Hollywood Video, and during Crimbus, we had to have a Crimbus movie on. And so one of my coworkers just had that cycling on over and over and over again. And every time the Hot Cocoa song came on, I just wanted to kill everybody in the store, including myself.
Did you start shouting communist propaganda about the Red Square Santa's Village?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Damn commies!
yeah, that movie said it was by Tom Hanks, but it was by that communist Barack Obama. Nothing but communists. But speaking of capitalism, lucky for us, the Ant Bully, which came out on July 28th of 2006, it costed $50 million, but it only made $55.2 million, so it sucked shit.
That's a lot.
Right up the butt.
Yep. And they're like, I don't understand. These Pixar type shits always make a lot of money.
What happened?
What happened is nobody told Nicolas Cage how to do voice acting.
I'm a wizard. Ant wizard. What's more important here? I'm making a potion. No, this is no lie, but like shortly before going to watch this movie, I actually did have to bug spray some ants.
Well, that's a good prelude.
They were getting into my apartment. Fuck them.
You're not supposed to enter the land of the humans.
Right? Yeah, the human nest is forbidden. And they should have known that.
That's why you put little crucified ants on toothpicks outside your front door. The forbidden zone is forbidden.
You may not like what you find.
Did you start singing "Get Off My Land"?
Well, I don't know about you, but I don't go down to where you work and slap the dick out of your mouth.
That's right.
Except for that one time you did.
Yeah, well, just the once.
So this is his first movie he made in, that was released in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
Directed and the screenplay was written by John A. Davis.
The
not to be
asshole who
confused with
did
Jim
Jimmy
Davis.
Neutron.
That makes sense.
Yeah, see? So he sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically the big thing that he's got under his belt. Director and writer for Jimmy Neutron. And not to be confused with friend of the show, Sig Neutron. Beloved figure.
Sig's great. Jimmy, though. Fuck you,
Jimmy, not so much. Yeah, fuck you, Jimmy.
What has Sig done for us lately?
What hasn't he done?
Those hand shows. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Hand jobs?
Yeah. You know, we were in that sitting room, you know, at that lodge, you know, that cabin or whatever it is, you know, when there were the 3 chairs and he took the middle chair.
Oh. Oh, that's right. We had him playing the ski simulator.
Yeah, that's right.
VR is a scary thing.
That's how that happened.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
But yeah, we love him. And it was written, it was based on the book written by John Nichol.
So what's the
Nichol
deal
damn
with
near
that?
killed him.
Yeah.
I don't
No
know what to
doubt
say.
related to Andrew Nichol. So
Yes.
I don't know anything about that book. Is that book fuck awful too, or?
I don't fucking know. I'm not
Okay.
going to read it. Fuck you. You read it.
You know random shits that I don't know sometimes. You know, I'm just counting on you. Be like, Linda, what's that all about? I don't know nothing.
I will do anything for Cage, but I won't do that.
Oh, see, I
Glorious.
wanted some Paracage by the dashboard light, actually.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
Let me sleep on it, baby, let me sleep on it.
So I guess somebody should talk about this movie.
So there's a little kid, and he lives in like a suburb of Vegas, and people beat him up, and he squirts an anthill with a squirt gun, because why the fuck would you not? And the ants are like, he's giving us a bad time. Let's shrink him and teach him a lesson.
Oh, and they implied that he peed on one.
Yes.
Well, yeah,
they
yeah.
don't just imply. They say flat out that he peed on him.
Yeah,
with the horrible yellow rain.
The dreaded yellow rain, and he says, give me a break, I had to go.
Yeah.
Although the anthill is in their front yard.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't give a fuck.
You know, the band Pretty Maids had a song called Yellow Rain that was really good.
Oh boy.
Yeah. What about Sex Dwarf? Let's just talk about that.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's talk about
let's-
soft cell for the next half hour.
Oh, and the kids' fuck awful parents who were complete stereotypes go to
Yeah.
do their second honeymoon in
Yeah.
Mexico, and the dad's this embarrassing guy with a wide head who goes around in sombrero and keeps saying random things in Spanish because like, hey, look, white guys, they don't know. And the grandma believes in UFOs and is voiced by Lily Tomlin.
She's
fucking love
also
Lily
wanted
Tomlin.
to get probed.
Yeah, she didn't want
Well,
the kid to
who
get
doesn't?
the probing. She wanted to get the probing herself, and her teeth keep falling out. And she was originally voiced by Shirley MacLaine,
Yeah.
who apparently
Yeah,
recorded
what the
her entire
fuck?
part, and then they just replaced it
Yeah.
because they're fucking idiots.
I heard that Alan Cummings was in it too.
I get the feeling
talk.
here. So this is the only movie by this production company. This movie sank it. I get the feeling that John A. Davis might be, as they say nowadays, an exceptional individual. He might be a trifle regal. You know?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
Is they were gonna send if they were to send a bus to pick up John A. Davis, they wouldn't necessarily get the biggest one or the longest.
Oh no.
Uh,
Oh
but
no.
never mind that. The Bruce Campbell has a voice in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really
and-
does. Fucking does.
If you don't know who Bruce Campbell is, like his character, you may well have been living under a rock.
And you can go fuck yourself.
and you can go fuck yourself. But as a refresher, in case you just recently had a head injury, he was in Maniac Cop and Waxwork 2: Lost in Time and the fucking Evil Dead, you idiot.
I
Yeah.
forgot that he was in that. Oh, not Evil Dead.
For some reason, I keep thinking he was also in Shock Treatment, but I could be wrong.
You know, he might have been. That would be about on time. He was in Things by then,
Yeah.
but I never actually saw Shock Treatment.
And he's in our hearts.
I think it's because my ex was so
Always.
into it.
You might know him as Briscoe County Jr.
Damn right, I fucking grew up on that shit. I don't care who you are. You know, like Bruce County Jr., just shut the fuck up. That's all. So this is a fucking goddamn children's movie, shithead.
This is an abortion.
Yeah, right, yeah, exactly.
That's
It's for those fetuses that didn't even make it to term. Yeah, this is a movie for zygotes. You know, since it's an entertainment, it is for the whole family, fun for the whole family. Air quotes here. You know, maybe I shouldn't get too picky with it, I guess, but weight and gravity don't actually scale with size and strength.
No.
So
Yes, like,
if a
what
human
the
being
fuck?
was the same size as an ant, being able to lift the weights an ant lifts is actually not challenging because they simply do not weigh that much. Everything's light. You could fall a shitload of distance for your size and be fine because you don't fucking weigh anything. You know, and they show them eating these giant droplets of green gloop, and they're vanishing into them. You know, much like when an ant drinks. If you see those tiny things, and yet when their nest gets flooded, there's like waves and shit. Like the water is completely inaccurate to the size. I feel like I'm being a nerd splitting hairs here, but I just can't help but point it out.
Oh, it's highly
Well,
noticeable.
Yeah.
I was wondering, like, oh, okay, so, okay, well, now bear with us because Donnie and I, we didn't have a filter when we were growing up. We weren't.
Wow, were your parents poor? They couldn't afford to get you a filter?
They let us watch anything and everything and a bunch of things that we really shouldn't have been watching. So Donnie and I were never really on that family, you know, kids movie train. You know, it had to be funny.
It's Saturday, kids. What do you guys want to watch? Mary Poppins or Sound of Music? No, we want to see a Serbian film.
We want to watch Sallow.
Baby does
We
that
want
was
to watch
just
Taxi
too tame.
Cab Confessions. Pretty much. And the Real Sex series. Donnie made me watch all the Faces of Death as children.
Oh, but who hasn't seen that?
I think my anxiety problems may have stemmed from
To be
something
fair,
in there.
though, all the deaths in Face of Death were all staged except the animal killing. That was as real as can get. Boiling puppies, people.
Although they proved that
God,
they
that's
faked the
still
monkey brain eating thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. That's, but anyway, so Donnie and I not really the biggest fans of most kids and family movies.
Okay, so I guess I'm a little bit more typical for once.
I mean, we did see some of them, like the main ones you had to kind of go see, like Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast,
Mrs. Doubtfire!
and Mrs. Doubtfire.
Care Bears.
Flying here
I
and there
care.
and everywhere.
Yeah, but I mean, well, when we were really, really little, you know, we liked the usuals, the She-Ra, He-Man, and you know, Care Bears, of course, Strawberry Shortcake.
What
and
about
Rainbow
Golan
Bright.
Globus's Master of the Universe movie with Dolph Lundgren as He-Man?
Yeah.
Fuck
Oh,
yeah. All day and all night.
But God, it's just this falls into the reason why Donnie and I didn't seem to like kids movies and family movies because they're like, oh, you're a kid, so
'cause
you're
they're
fucking
bullshit?
stupid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this ant, he's a wizard, and yeah, an ant wizard, and he shrinks the kid down to size.
It's been long enough since the movies Ants and A Bug's Life. Maybe people are primed for another Ants CGI family movie.
Yeah.
They're just fucking pumped for it and they don't even know.
So, like, he makes the kids small.
Right.
Okay. why the fuck is the kid able to lift things that are like 10 times heavier than he is, and why is he able to scale fucking walls? He's not, they didn't change
Well,
him
this
into
is
an ant.
this is the thing. Like, if they had done this like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, you know,
Yeah.
like a good movie, you would see that like when you're at that size, a thing like a pop can is not smooth. Like, ants
Right.
have those bristly feet, and they're able to adhere to all these because at those size, it's not smooth; it's all uneven. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So like if they
Well,
made
and
it
that
like it
makes
was
sense.
stucco, you know, like it would have been like, oh yeah, you know, like shit at different sizes is different, you know, but like it's all done so slapdash and poorly. And they got the ants, so they got them, they got like there's they got what like I guess is like they got compound eyes, but it's only on the whites, and then they have like a pupil and an iris like a regular eye, and it's this awful iridescent green.
Oh god, yeah.
In fact, all the color was fuck awful. I mean,
And they were eating some worm shit.
yeah, and they were eating some worm shit.
That was like straight out of
Compton?
no, Human Centipede.
Oh, you know, I recently looked at the IMDb bottom 100 again, and Human Centipede 2 was on there. Come on.
Oh.
Did you people even watch it? People don't know how to have any fun. I
We
swear.
gave the internet what it asked for.
That's right. Right, is the internet not just a fecal Ouroboros?
Well, according to Disney.
Oh yeah, that Skywalker thing is officially released tomorrow.
Yes, and it's already a bomb. Everyone's saying it sucks, and they're
Isn't it
blaming the fans
delightful?
for it.
You know, they fly now.
Yeah, they fly now.
Is that going to be the name of our next podcast? They fly.
Yeah.
They fly now, like some guy now. Speaking of eating shit, Julia Roberts is in The Ant Bully.
Yeah.
Aunt Julia.
Yeah, Julia Roberts is Nicolas Cage, the ant Zoc's girlfriend.
Eating caterpillar shit.
Eating caterpillar. Yeah,
It's just like real life.
I fucking I hate her almost as much as I hate Meg Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll jump on that train.
Yeah, with Meg Ryan, at least there's a comfort in that she's totally over. You know.
Although I did love, I loved Mystic Pizza with Julia Roberts, Aunt Julia, but anything after that, it's just Julia Roberts playing Julia Roberts.
Yeah, well, what you didn't love, Pretty Woman, where she's the really obnoxious kind of countrified whore, and Richard Gere is like Richard Gere, and it's like, you're a whore, you got to do what I say. Let's fuck on a piano.
Yeah.
You mean the ultimate romance story?
'Cause I'm the king of wishful thinking.
They were role playing.
That's right. Oh, it's kinky.
So, how did you guys feel about the movie?
Well, yeah,
Any
I think
favorite parts?
fuck.
No, sir, I didn't like it.
Yeah. Well, wait a minute. No, Linda, I thought you might have something to say about this one, since Lily Tomlin's character is like a witness, and they're sort of making fun of that. You know.
Wait,
I
was an
love
ant
Lily
raped
Tomlin.
against a pinball machine in this? Oh, that's the accused.
That's what we should have watched.
Jodie Foster. No. Yeah, I love Lily Tomlin and whatever the fuck she's in.
I do love Lily Tomlin. I have nothing against her.
She's a fucking national treasure.
Like, she was doing her job, reading her lines. They just weren't good lines.
Yeah, exactly.
Also,
And
I kind of half wonder whether or not this was supposed to be a period film, since the way the daughter is, the character's sister. She's like, is she supposed to be like a little bit 80s out or something like that, or?
that's kind of the feeling I got.
And
from
she's
it.
like stupid brother playing with his electronic devices, and she has her like portable like Discman or whatever, and it's like supposed to be funny,
yeah,
except it's really not.
Yeah, it did seem kind of 80s, 90s ish.
I'm sure it's probably in the book.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
didn't
You might
even
have a
think about
point
that.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we know anything about what was going on with Nicolas Cage and like why this happened? Did he just think this would be a cash grab? I mean, hopefully he didn't get a percentage. Hopefully he got paid outright.
I think this is like right as he's losing money and
Yeah.
spending it on a lot of crap.
Well,
Yeah, I
mean,
kind of wondered if that's where he got the inspiration and just kind of winged the line instead of it being written for him, where he said, "No relationship is worth this."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And they all get eaten
Yeah.
by a frog. It's in fact elaborate fetish porn disguised as child entertainment.
yeah,
Yes,
it's
they had to throw in
war.
vor.
Yeah. It's the Vor Bully. That was the original title. The ants are all talking about how they're going to eat him.
Yes.
And that's when I got interested. I was like, yeah, you're going to chew on him now?
And so they give the wasps
grind 'em up.
spooky bug mouths, but the ants they give human mouths, and there's like kind of little bumps on the
Right.
side to
Yeah.
represent the mandibles.
Yeah.
Also, does it creep anyone else out that they gave him dead bug skin to wear and eyes?
Yeah, isn't that a little weird? It's like you're going to be one of us. Here, wear parts of a corpse.
Yeah.
That's like him going around with a skull on him, you know? Like,
Yeah, this is
I have
exactly
come
what-
among you
this
to
is
learn
exactly
your
what
ways.
Jeff Goldblum talked about in The Fly. He's like, this is bug politics. They eat and kill each other. They don't give a fuck.
right? Yeah.
I was thinking
Yeah, and,
Leatherface.
and they have the ant queen there, and
Yeah.
she's all mystical and shit. It's like, it's not, I'm controlling you all with my pheromones. Do my bidding. I will birth you
kind of,
all.
It kind of made me think of Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
which is another movie we should have watched instead of this.
It would have been nice.
Well, I saw a better movie this week. I watched Ken Russell's The Boyfriend with Twiggy. You know, it's all singing, all
Oh.
dancing, all weird.
How
Ken
about
Russell, everybody.
But this fucking movie. I did notice that when she gets up from her rocking chair, the grandma character, dude, she's got a Masonic symbol on her rocking chair.
Yeah, I heard that was in there somewhere. Yeah. You know, I have a
Was
friend who's a
Grandpa
Mason. I should just
Freemason?
ask him about this.
So is this tied into National Treasure?
Oh,
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Those
When
clues
we
are
did that
everywhere.
episode, we kind of downplayed that element, but like that was pretty much the whole thing. It's like yay Freemasons, and like being like, see, they're just like they're tied into the Knights Templar and all that.
And Peggy Sue got married. They sent Peggy back to her time.
With Mason magic, yeah. It's like, all right, she's gone. Let's get out the cards.
Let's get to fucking.
I love how satisfied they are that their magic worked. By the way.
Which even then, the magic is kind of the same in this. Nick Cage says he's a wizard, but it just kind of happens.
Yeah,
He
it's
doesn't
like,
need to find the rock
oh,
with the crack in it.
the magic
The
rock
crack
didn't
rock.
didn't do so good. The crack rock.
Yeah,
Well, you know, if you're having trouble with your crack rocks, just cover it with a viscous substance.
that's
Well,
true.
and it doesn't really come back
No.
at like fucking all.
Well, you're talking about they're a unique culture. They have their ways, and they worship sweet rocks, also known as fucking product placement
sweet
jelly butt
rock.
bellies. Yeah. When
Sweet
in the
rock
reality is like,
skinny
oh yeah, we'll eat anything. We'll eat fetid dead shit, you know, whatever. You know, like, oh no, I want candy. Oh, because you could have these sweet rocks. You know, it's not as good as rotten slime from a corpse, though. So
But,
I think it was Crow T Robot who once said, "Honey, I Shrunk the Audience's interest."
Yes.
Yeah. I was a little shocked that the bugs bit his junk.
Yeah. And talked about it a lot.
Oh yeah.
All the dialogue was horrendous. It's like, it's a kid's thing. Let's put a lot of funny, gross out stuff in there. Also,
Yeah.
Cage's character Zoc pours the potion in the kid's ear. So,
Yeah.
is this like a shitty Hamlet?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Ant bully,
Like-
shitty Hamlet.
Like, even though it wasn't that good, I would literally rather have watched Phase 4 than watch this movie again.
Oh god. Well, Zach Tyler, the one who played the boy Lucas, he has since he hasn't really played he hasn't really acted a lot since
Wait,
then.
his character's name was Lucas? Does that mean he had the power glove? because it's so bad.
Yeah.
But he played Aang in the Last Airbender,
Yes, it did.
Wait,
and
the
animated.
M. Night, oh, okay, not the M. Night Shyamalan movie. Okay.
No, God, no. The
Yeah.
actual good one.
I have to be honest, I haven't seen either.
I haven't seen either
don't-
either, but I understand that it would be better to just pull an Oedipus and put out your eyes with knitting needles than watch it.
That's as
Fair
far
enough.
as M. Night goes. The show itself, Korra is awesome. The Airbender, it's pretty good.
Oh.
Just avoid the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and he has since become a cinematographer, and he was the cinematographer for Truth or Dare and Hunted.
No shit.
dear.
Well, hey, it's moving
Yeah,
on up. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't look into a lot of credits on this, probably because it's a fucking rendered movie. Like, you know, there aren't like DPs and shit. You know, like, you know.
Well, they had such an amazing fucking cast. It was amazing.
They always do on this kind of shit, though. It's like a
Yeah,
70s
that's the
disaster
thing.
movie. It's like they call in and get a whole bunch of, you know, names who are available, you know, and replacing some of them in this case for no good reason, you know, and it's supposed to be something that's like, oh, the parents will come in too because, you know, this person, you know, like, look, Cheech Marin did a voice
Right.
in this too, you know. And yeah, but it didn't
Yeah.
work in this case, you know.
Well, I mean, it had to because they made some money.
No, but they didn't though because there's an advertising budget too.
No, that's
Yeah.
true.
They didn't make
Yeah.
any money. These investors got fucked, you know.
Yeah.
If you were an investor on this, you were fucked, you know. And like,
Right.
and that's obviously not the most important thing, you know. But with something like this, something this crass and commercial, you'd expect it to make a return, you know. Like the Weatherman didn't
Yeah.
make money, but I'm fine with that because the Weatherman's a good movie. You know?
Yes, I'm happy that we got to do Weatherman again because it just reminded me that it's one of my favorite Cage films altogether.
And it has the camel
It's
toe.
just enjoyable. Yeah. And this movie, it's hard to follow up such a great fucking movie with the ant bully.
Yeah, I mean, like that's. I think that this is part of what's weird about doing what we're doing, in that we're doing Cage's movies in order of release, and so there's some total randomness to that because like his projects are not curated, and the way they come out, it doesn't make any sense with one another.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Which, I can't wait to tell you our next one. But, is that my nephew Chewy?
Yes, he's in the basement where he belongs.
Oh, my poor little choo-choo train.
He's down in the basement with the victims.
Yeah. He's got to learn about this lotion going on the skin.
It puts
I
the
got your
lotion
dog.
in the fucking basket.
I've got Rudy by my feet, and like he's being quiet, but he also has strong rude toots. So every now and then I'm just like, oh God, Jesus, why?
Well, I'm petless here, so if anything goes wrong, it's my fault. Yeah.
Or those goddamn ants.
Well, they've been away since I massacred them all. I mean, there's only about a dozen or so. I'm just saying, like,
So-
you know, kids spray ants' nests with water. It's fine. Fuck them. Fuck ants.
Donnie, is that one thing that you used to do? I know you used to bury shit, and my toys included.
Well, I also reenacted the Kennedy assassination.
I remember that.
Yes.
Oh, did
But
you use
wasn't
like
it-
a Barbie dream house for the book depository?
More or less. I just put Barbie and Ken in Barbie's convertible and just let loose.
The great thing about Barbie is her head comes off. I mean,
Yeah.
God damn it.
President's bullet riddle body in the street. Ride Johnny ride. Kennedy shadowed head is concrete.
Yeah, I've seen many beheadings of my favorite dolls in my
Yeah.
time.
Oh.
And burnings. Yeah, there was that. But
Well,
I
you know.
feel like feel like we kind of missed out on that whole evil kid like burning ants
Well, that was
bullshit.
also stupid because if you had a can of aerosol paint and a lighter, you could go and make napalm. But if you're going to use
Or
a
hairspray.
magnifying glass, you're there for days.
That's true. It's not very. Yeah, no, like me and my brother, we were just content to get him with a hose because they'd act all pissed off, and you get to see him swarm.
Yeah.
And sometimes it'd be like there aren't enough ants in the yard to do this to. And so my brother would pile up a whole bunch of Teddy Grahams, just some piles of ever-loving sugar, strawberry syrup, just a mountain of it. And we're sitting there, I'm like, man, they're not getting the word. Let's go in. And then later we look out there, and everything is all black, covered with ants. And my brother's like, great day, and gets the hose and just blasts them all off onto the grass.
Jesus.
Well, actually, what you can do now, because it's considered science and art, and it's cool, is you can smelt down a whole bunch of lead or aluminum if you want to be safer, and then you find the anthill and pour it down. And then you let it harden,
God
and then you
damn it.
dig it up, and suddenly you have a sculpture of all the intricate ant tunnels
That's wonderful.
and carbon-frozen ant bodies. But,
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know about you guys, but I had a question.
Sure.
Donnie, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Do we have 2
Look,
hours?
we're hardly the sickest people in the world. Surely you've heard of the exploding varmints video?
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you show them what happens when you mess with us.
It's just a couple of hundred of fucking prairie dog and gopher explosions.
God damn it.
Like, sometimes an instant replay in slow-mo.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, they're sicker people than us. I'm positive of it.
Speaking of sick, I'm pretty literally fucking sick right now.
You know who else is sick? Is Brad A. Davis. Oh, sorry, John A. Davis.
Yeah.
Jim Davis.
Oh, Garfield without Garfield, my favorite.
That is pretty awesome.
Oh, I have some videos to
The
share.
state doesn't
with
go, I'm going to fuck my own cat.
So, I noticed the Masonic symbol,
Okay.
but also I still want to know, why the fuck does he have ant powers?
Maybe he consumed them and that's how he got them?
Oh, okay, all right. Well, why didn't they just fucking show that?
They ride a bunch
Because
of
it's a kid's
wasps so they
movie.
can dump the poison on the potion onto the exterminator guy, and he winds up on the
Yeah.
guy's scalp, and he sees scalp mites.
Yeah. It's like a lot.
It's really gross.
It really was.
And then they only kind of halfway portion the guy, so he gets all they halfway potion him, so he
Yeah.
gets all weird and like misshapen.
Yeah, that was special.
Yeah, some
That was Lovecraftian.
yeah.
That made me think of Sex Dwarf. So, were you guys able to find any sort of wisdom from this shit?
Oh fuck.
If you're gonna fuck with ants, go for gold.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't just go
he
halfway.
left enough of them alive for them to take revenge with fucking magic. Clearly, he just wasn't
Yeah.
efficient enough.
It's just fucking find the anthill and start fucking it. And then you can show them your
Jesus.
dominance. It's like,
But then
you
what
got
if
a
they're
queen,
carpenter
fuck
ants?
you. Well, that's a chance you gotta take.
I'm just saying, like, if I'm gonna watch something with ant in the title, I'm gonna watch Stuart Gordon's King of the Ants.
There you go.
Yeah.
But also, what the fuck? He was naked when he was turned into an ant, and then when he came normal sized and his grandma saw him naked out front, it reinforced the fact, like you said, he must be pissing out front a lot for nobody to be freaked out by it.
Yeah, he's actually a 3D version of a character from David Lynch's animation Dumbland.
Yeah.
What have I
So,
been out
mean,
here taking a shit?
I would not be surprised if he actually did at night under a full moon, drenched in blood, was taking a shit on an anthill. And he's like, this is when I feel the most alive. They don't even ask him why he's covered in blood. They just look, what are you doing? He's like, doesn't blood look like ink under the moonlight? Get back in here, you'll get a cold.
Yeah, it was kind of
And
funny that
that's how
time
he-
that Grandma woke up with the mirrors stuck in her eyes.
And And that's how he got the ant powers, because what they didn't show was when he was an ant, like ant size, he just Kalimaw'd some shit there.
He's got the exterminator, tied in a wheelchair. He's like, you are the victim of a great becoming, and yet you understand nothing.
Yes. And probably in the book was also the scene when he took his grandma's pantyhose and put them halfway over his face and then put her dentures in his mouth and started biting the anthill.
Well, here I am.
Strong as I am.
You're so sly, but so am I.
God damn it. Is there some sort of wisdom in that?
Yell at your mom whenever possible. Parents just don't understand.
Yeah,
Okay.
And if you don't make any friends, take it out on smaller creatures.
exactly.
Those are the wisdoms,
my wisdom, my wisdom I found was, if we truly believe in ourselves, we can do anything, even climb up a fucking wall. Apparently,
You just climb a damn wall.
just
And
climb
whenever
a
a
goddamn
problem
wall
comes along, you must whip it.
That's right. Whip it good.
Yeah,
into shape.
Oh, and why forage for food when you can scout for some food?
that's right.
God damn it.
You know you want it.
And also, if you have anything that's like a pedal, you should, children, go out there, get these parachute type things, use it like a hang glider. Go ahead, just jump off cliffs. It totally works.
Yeah, the fan will just take you.
Yeah.
So, what about your segment here before you get put on to catch a predator?
Yeah. Well, this kind of goes with the movie we did last week, doesn't it, Linda?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you better just say what the segment is called and not introduce it in your usual way.
Yeah.
No, please put some emphasis on it. Put your weight on it.
God
Put your weight on it.
God damn it. Close off. So, of course, there's nothing here except for implied child Dangus.
Well, also, the whole cast is naked. They're ants.
Yeah, they even
Yeah.
talk about that.
Yeah,
They
their
haven't
junk's just
found
out.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Their
They
hearts
have
are
no
in their
shame.
I said cross your heart. I'm crossing my ass. That's where my heart is. Duh.
And there was that part where they squeeged spooge, some sort of spooge on the ant's face toward the end, and it was like, ha 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 ha.
Bukake.
Yeah.
Aunt Bukake.
I wonder what an anime of this would have been like. It probably would not have been for children.
It would have been a hentai.
Yeah. From the creators of La Blue Girl.
Are you guys ready to face this bullshit off?
Oh, I got a fucking face off for this fucking chunk of fucking shit.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Yeah. You don't need to re-render it or anything because they already wasted $50 million doing that fucking shit. No,
True.
Since they're so into replacing voices, I want to replace all the voices with Brad Neely reading from his own version of the script.
Wow.
Fudge off, you fuck.
Okay, Donnie.
Well, this is interesting. For Hova, we have Alexa Penavega. For Zoc, we have Ricardo Montalban. For Lucas, we have Daryl Sabara. Head of council will be Antonio Banderas. And the queen is Selma Hayek. So it's basically the cast of a lot of the Spy Kids movies. And the exterminator would be played, of course, by Sylvester Stallone. But the director would be Alejandro Jodorowsky.
So his son would be doing a voice in there too at some point.
Yes, he would be the monologue for Lucas. And then it would also be done coincidentally for Zoc as well as Hova when they start wondering, is this the child of prophecy that will bring the spice to the land?
Yes.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yes. Jodorowsky watched this movie and he thought, I could do better.
Yeah, no, he was right. He's like, no, we are warriors.
Yeah.
I would pay to see that. Actually, I prefer the same cast, but with him
Yeah.
writing the script. For me, as Lucas the Kid, I had Steven Seagal.
Oh.
And for Zoc, I have Charlie Sheen. And Hova, I have Elizabeth Banks.
I thought for a minute there you were going with an Albert Pyun theme, like you'd work Van Damme in there someplace, and
Yeah.
and Rutger
Danny
Hauer.
Trejo.
Yeah, Danny Trejo. Yeah. Get Ice-T. Ice-T would be in there a lot. Yeah. Why don't I just exterminate this anthill anyway?
Law and Order Ant Bully.
Dun, dun. Dun, dun. You want to say that to my face, motherfucker? Huh? You want to say that to my face? I'm a Catholic. I have a daughter.
Oh, god damn it. So, I guess this is the time where I say sorry. And
No, we don't apologize in here. Sign of weakness.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
we're Americans. Damn it. Please listen, follow, rate, and review Cage's Kiss, especially on Apple Podcasts, because it helps us immensely so we can be found. Tell everybody about us, testify, and check us out on Podchaser. Also, check out our YouTubes. We have a pretty rad YouTube.
And we got some sweet flame wars going in our YouTube comments.
It's true. You can find me on the weekly podcast, Bedknobs and Broomflicks.
Ooh.
And I believe this week we're doing another mini-sode. We just covered the night before Christmas.
Night with a K.
And I'm still wrecked. Yes, Knight. God damn it.
Not Nightmare Before Christmas.
No.
No. So, Adrian, you got any plugs?
Oh fuck. Oh shit. Yeah. The usual. I'm on DeviantArt. That's what I've spent my life doing. Leo the Fox on DeviantArt, and you can find me on YouTube as A.A. Smith, and I'm on Goodreads, and you can hear me bitch about long ass books from 200 years ago that you didn't read.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Donnie?
I guess I'm still the boy who blew on Pornhub. I also am Unreal Goals on Twitter.com. And I still have a new development where I can't really feel much in my leg, but I just know that it hurts. So if you have any spare painkillers in the Vicodin and oxycodone region, please forward them to our email.
And
Yay!
we're open to any of your crack cocaine.
Yes, but you have to tell us if you're a cop first.
And that's right, you
Yeah.
have to tell us. Yeah.
Otherwise, it's entrapment.
That's right.
Ooh, I also want to give a shout out to M at Verbal Diorama because God damn it. First of all, because, we love her and she's amazing. And second of all, because she did a really nice piece on us for Film Stories.
Ooh.
So if you read that piece and came over, welcome. We're usually better than
Welcome,
this.
Wheel Putin.
All are welcome.
Cross over.
All are
children.
welcome in the light.
I think we'd be better if we watched a real movie and not some kids rendered shit.
Yeah.
Oh, and if you would like to send us the Vicodin for Donnie, you can find us at P.O. Box 14895, Mill Creek, Washington 98082.
What have they done? It's
So,
like a Gumby episode.
I could dig it.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Gumby
Okay.
it up. Yellow Rain included.
Let's do it.
We are the victims doomed to die in Yellow Rain.
Yeah, and make sure it's the correct P.O. box because we don't want you sending it to something like Box 5325 in Hopkins, Minnesota, because that would be for the Mystery Science Theater 3000 group. We don't associate with them.
God damn it, Donnie.
All those highfalutin Minnesotans won't talk to us.
Yeah.
They'll talk to
Yeah.
me.
No.
No, we're Washington peeps. We're the asshole of the country. Nobody likes us.
And on that note, remember, you could find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Cage's Kiss. You can visit our website and see all that beautiful Adrian art on cageskiss.com. And you could write to us at cageskiss@gmail.com or give us that snail mail at P.O. Box 14895.
Ew.
Yeah. So we'll be seeing you next week with World Trade Center.
That's gonna be a real hit.
We don't want
Warning.
you. We don't want you shooting our 9/11 movie when 9/11 happened. You get it right the hell out of here.
Yeah.
But I'm Oliver
There will
Stone.
be spoilers.
I wonder what the movie about 9/11 has in it. I wonder if there's any 9/11 in it.
You know, I saw it in the theater, but I forgot.
Where were
Yeah.
you on 9/11? We'll put a boot in their ass, partner.
For the last episode of Cage's Kiss.
You have been saying that since like the first episode of Cage's Kiss.
Yes, because I keep waiting for it to happen.
And since you ran my line into the ground by making it a slogan, I'm changing it up with "The ants ate a kid."
Yeah,
Fair
no, he was alive. He was actually having a diabetic shock, and they just wanted to eat the ice cream off of him. But then they just went too far, and before they knew it, it was just a skeleton.
Like, well, while we're here,
I mean, Nick Cage shot a kid with a spell.
Well, that's okay. It wasn't an ordinary kid. It was the Tooth Fairy.
yeah.
Look, I'm fucking sick right now. Like, can we just end the episode?
Just end it all.
And who were you?
Cage, 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 Peach. I could eat a peach for hours. Please. Kiss me.
We are divided. Now more than ever. We separate ourselves based on politics, race, age, favorite sports teams, religion, and even what fandoms we subscribe to. But there is one thing that we all have in common. Death. You're gonna die. I'm gonna die. We're all gonna die. Coffin Cast seeks to shine a light on the thing that unites us all with a mix of true crime, strange death stories, and a little education mixed in. So when you find yourself at odds with someone, just remember, they are going to die too.